sinks. It might drain the rainwater. I'm not really sure about it. But those windows are all original. The bank has been kept in great shape. Let's just check out this part of it right here. That's a Ohio Historical Society recognition marker for Louis Sullivan in this bank, erected in 1975. So that's been a great idea there. And yes, we had 2 hangings in the basement. Okay, so we're going to go back to the corner here. That's the most well-known bank in the state. This restaurant right here dates from 1907. Hi, sure. So, anybody have an idea who created this business? What his name was? Or what his nickname was? Yes, the Spy. Anybody want to go back and investigate?
The light just went off. It was on.
Oh, okay. First door, we'll see it.
And she would occasionally go in and work in the evenings or on weekends because during the day, her attention was on the needs of her children.
I believe they were called computers.
Called computers, yes. She shut down those machines and she started to walk west toward the curriculum office. And there she unlocked the door and she sorted some mail and she thought, now this really is ridiculous. I need to get home. And so she was ready to lock the door and she pushed it shut when she heard the first scream. And it was a scream of a female. And it was muffled as if it were coming from behind a closed door or from within a closed casket. Well, she was terrified. So she ran down the steps, ran down the flight of steps, and went to the double doors that opened onto the courtyard where her automobile was parked. And it occurred to her she had not reset the alarm. So she put her back against the door to still her heart, and with trembling fingers reset that alarm. Well, then she could not wait any longer, and she got into her car, and she was hoping to forget the memory of the sound of that scream. But you know that memory was reinforced because when she shared her story with other people, she discovered others had had the same experience. And so she wondered, and then she was told perhaps it was because the building was built over those graves, and perhaps the installation of that heating system in those long, dark tunnels had disturbed those graves. That was the last time she ever went to work in that building at night and alone. Well, I must tell you, I'm weary from telling these supernatural phenomenon stories. You know, there are irrational things for which there are no rational answers. Sometimes things are what they are. Well, I must bid you all good night because I am so weary from telling these stories. And Robert, would you take our guests upstairs and find what that noise is, please?
Yes, Mom, I shall.
Oh, it's very disturbing. Well, good night to you all, and I need to rest.
If you will follow me, we'll go up and shoo out the cats.
And in Shelby County, we expect that the city of Sidney can save this building, and why I, City Manager Bill Barlow, would care. You know, the roof's been leaking for some time. I just came down from the 3rd floor and I couldn't take a step without stepping on the carcass of dead pigeons. Their tiny little bones crunching under my foot. If that wasn't disgusting enough, if I found a place to step, stepping on edge and crack. Heaven knows what kind of disease is up there. If the taxpayers in this community don't care about this building, why should I care? One of these days I'm going to move on to a bigger city to manage anyway. I'm told that when Mayor Barhorst was serving as mayor, he actually went to every veterans organization in the county, encouraging them to vote for the levy. And if a native son whose father served in World War II and his grandfather served in World War I couldn't convince them, how can I, an outsider, ever convince them? Just a few days ago, I came across something I found interesting. It was actually in the memoirs of the Miami Valley, and I think I'll just rattle through that for a moment. The building was erected honestly without even the suspicion of graft. It's so substantial that barring fire and earthquake, it may easily stand on the corner for 100 years or more. But it must be admitted with regret, of course, that it does not now represent the great idea with which the town was aroused so long ago. Viewed from the east, a stranger to Sidney may perhaps wonder what the building means. It suggests vaguely, or might in another locality, a mammoth mausoleum, or possibly a cathedral, whereupon the apostolic figure has been replaced by a soldier from the Civil War who rusts in his lonely niche far above the pavement. The stone masonry is of good craftsmanship but clumsy in design. The Court Street elevation is a violent change from the front. The City Hall and Fire Department are tacked on like afterthoughts. Unbeautiful as it is, we may not wholly blame the architect for all this, nor may we withhold forgiveness from the citizens who stood by and held in hand the hats of art and architecture while the two fought and disfigured one another. The very next day, City Manager Barlow went to City Hall and tasked Manager Mark Kundle with finding the funds to save the building. And fortunately, he was able to get some grant money, do some other kinds of things, pass some legislation that enabled them to do that. And the building today is in much better shape than it was then, and hopefully will stay that way.